My name is Kevin Williams. I'm a horticulture specialist at Denver Botanic Gardens.
My name is Angie Andrade, and I am the manager of therapeutic horticulture programs. A sensory garden is a garden that features plants that evoke the five senses. And a lot of times these plants are usually planted that are accessible for people to be able to fully engage with.
Almost any garden can be a sensory garden in that if we have some sort of interaction or awareness of the plants in it, some plants definitely evoke more senses or people have deeper connections to, or there's more ways to interact with them.
Normally we look at gardens from afar and we notice the colors and we notice the textures of the garden. But a sensory garden really invites people to fully engage in the garden. You notice new things, you notice the new little flowers that are coming up or the bugs that are crawling in the garden. Whatever it is, you notice more when you're fully engaged into the garden.
We like to say that we're an intersection of science and art. So we do a lot of designing, a lot of thinking about the gardens, the way they're arranged, the plants that we put together, but then we also have to know a lot about the culture it takes to grow those things. The sensory plants themselves really help a lot more from a Mediterranean or Mediterranean kind of climate. So that led us to the design for the main sensory bed itself. And then knowing that that rill was going to run through it, which featured the water, and looking at the forms of those plants, it really felt kind of like a coral reef. So we started calling it the botanical touch tank. With the sky bed, you're forced to look out over the skyline, and we're going for taller perennials, bringing back more of that meadow mohawk idea to let those grasses push your eye up and out over the city. And then in the last bed, the wood bed, and thinking that if we put in these more stately trees, which we sort of interact with as like landscape gods, right? They lord over us, they're kind of above. It'll allow us to push our attention upward to the sky and take away a little bit of that weight of the building and the space.
For me, I hope that people can come to this garden multiple times a year and notice something different every time they come and really create that sense of wonder and awe that we talked about.
Having it in a museum itself is really meaningful because it feels like a recognition that it does deserve to be in this setting.